Before we begin this episode, I want to take a moment to share how much of an honor it is to sit down with Ben. This conversation isn't just about fitness or business or even health. It's about a man who has faced some of life's toughest battles and refused to let them define him. Ben opens up about his struggles, his ethos, and his refusal to ever settle for less than what he's capable of. He has fought through cancer, endured 2 hip replacements, and yet continues to push himself forward, always striving to become better. What stands out about Ben isn't just his resilience, but the way he carries it, with humility, respect, and kindness. Every time I spend time with him, I walk away impressed, not just by what he's achieved, but by how he treats people. In a world where it's easy to complain, easy to point fingers or give up, Ben shows us what it means to stand tall, to rise above, and to choose strength over excuses. And that's rare. It's rare to meet someone who has gone through so much, yet still radiates generosity and encouragement to those around him. Ben has been a real inspiration for me personally, and I believe this conversation will be the same for you. So as you listen, I encourage you to take in not just the words, but the spirit behind them. Because I'm not just hoping, I'm certain this talk will inspire whoever hears it. Thank you for doing this.
Absolute
podcast.
Pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. So, right, let's start off light. So, what's your first impression of me when we first met? We met at the gym, haven't we? So,
we did indeed. First met at the gym. I mean, we're both early birds, so it's early in the morning. We're both bleary-eyed, both still trying to work it out. Yeah. And to be honest, the fact that you're at the gym that time in the morning, my first impression is you've got somebody that's taking their life seriously. You've got somebody that's taking their health and fitness seriously. Even back then, it was clear that you were working towards a goal. You had a busy life. You had a lot going on. It was even obvious. But then suddenly, I don't know what happened. You really zoned in on the gym, and your fitness just did that. Just exploded. Your physique just went so sharp. Not that I'm jealous much. No, you really keyed it in. You worked hard. You put the effort in. And it showed, it really did show that you were focusing on it and taking it seriously. So you came across as someone that a positive mindset, a focused mindset, and very goal orientated. You knew where you wanted to go and you were working towards that.
Yeah, thank you. That was a time where I only just recently joined back a gym after having this little one here. The first year just was not I think I might have mentioned it before, where I had COVID. Literally a couple months he was born and I had COVID. And no. I was bedridden for a couple of weeks, and I felt horrible. And I was, what weight was I? I think I was in the mid 60 kgs, and I dropped down to 52 kilos.
Yeah, I mean 52, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I bench press more than that, you know.
Yeah, so I was extremely weak, extremely skinny, and after a couple of months I was playing around with him. He was only tiny, and then I thought I can't do this. So that's when the time I just joined quite early stages and bumped into you guys, and I was just focused, literally just like banging on. I know what I want to do. And then I saw you guys. I was like, oh, you seem to drill sergeant the 2 other people that it was it Darren and Andy at that time. And I was like, oh, these guys looked fun. My first impression of you was like, you know your stuff, because you explain what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it and what sort of like form they had to do it. If I remember correctly, you love your goblet squats, that's for sure. That time, yeah. But yeah, it was very interesting to get to know you guys and everyone else as well. So it was a good atmosphere in that gym.
Yeah, I mean, I met Darren and Andy through that morning session as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't know either of those guys outside of the gym.
Oh, so we were both early, like, knowing...
Yeah.
So it's been about 3 years I've been at the gym now, I think.
Yeah, I joined just after lockdown.
Yeah, just after lockdown. So, he's 4 now. So, yeah, it's been a year. Yeah, crazy how time flies, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. So, for the people who don't know you, how would you describe yourself today, and how different is that from the man you were before all the struggles you had?
You say all the struggles you had. Now, a struggle to a person is relative to where they are in life. Everyone has their own struggles. Everyone has their own challenges that they need to work through and need to overcome. And that's apparent if you listen to the other people that you've interviewed as well. So who am I today? I today am the sum of my experiences. Some of those experiences have been absolutely amazing. Some not so great. You know, yeah, I put the cancer one in the not so great bucket, but you know, some of the others, the opportunities and the things that I have done, absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm very privileged to have been able to do some of those things. So who am I? The sum of the rough and the smooth.
Because my first impression of you're like, okay, this is a businessman. You clearly state what you need, know, and what you do. But underneath all that, you have a lot of belt under you. There's like, every time I talk to you, there's always a new thing I knew about you. The amount of qualifications you have, the amount of things you've done. It amazes me that an individual can have that many things under his belt. And what made you sort of push to gather so much stuff?
Both my parents were very goal focused, with a thirst for life, and I think it's just something that I've inherited from them. Now, one of the things I have learned, where you say I've got, you know, lots of things under my belt, is if I do something, I like to do it, I like to understand it, but that's all well and good, but you get so many people as you go through life who just talk rubbish about stuff. So each time I do something, that's why I get qualified. So there's always something to back it up. I mean, yeah, I've done some crazy stuff that there's nothing to back it up. I mean, you know, when I was out in Mallorca working as a DJ, and I was doing that before, you know, I was like 14, 15 years old, which is just another crazy aspect of like stuff I used to do. So you were saying about the qualifications, that's why I do it, because I always try and back up what I do. So there's always something there to say, yeah, okay, I've done it, and somebody will challenge you, yeah, there's no way. Well, okay, there's the
proof check. Yeah, proof check. Yeah, I've seen so many certificates on your wall, on your kitchen. So yeah, there's fact check everything. So right. So do you feel your challenges create the strength you have now, or they just test that reveals it?
I wouldn't say the challenges have kind of defined it. I think I've always been that person. I mean, if you look, so you've talked sort of challenges. So I had stage 4 cancer. One of the things I remember is being on the table for radiotherapy. I was actually lying there thinking, I'm really glad this is me, because of all these challenges I've had to go through, it might have been too much for somebody else. But the support I had at the time, especially from my wife, was absolutely outstanding. I mean, without her, I'd be dead. There was not even a discussion about that. So the support that she gave me during that time was amazing. And if you look at, was it the challenge that made me, or was I already like this? I think I was already like this. It was just that the challenge gave me an opportunity to rise to the occasion almost.
Could you tell me a story about how you found out you had cancer then?
Oh man. So I had a cough that just wouldn't go. It went on and on. And eventually I went to see the doctor about it. And they said, oh, you know, come back if it hasn't gone in 8 weeks. I said, well, it's been 12 weeks already.
Yeah.
Do I really need to go away? Oh, okay, we'll get you tested for glandular fever. So they tested me for glandular fever, and I phoned up for the results, and they said, well, you don't have glandular fever. And I thought, great, okay, I haven't got glandular fever, but I've obviously got something wrong, otherwise you wouldn't have tested me.
Yeah.
So what is it? And this doctor, he's a locum, just wasn't that effective or dynamic, so I went in to see the lead practice doctor at the time, and I spoke to him about it, and he looked at me and said, well, okay, well, how are you feeling? I said, I feel okay, but I've got this cough, it won't go, I've been tested for glandular fever, I've now got this lump on my neck as well. And he looked at me and went, right, let's get you tested. I'm going to give you some leaflets because I have to. Don't worry, we're just going to get you tested. We're going to rule out the worst and then we'll work through. So off I went to the hospital, and they sort of promised various things, and they eventually did, when they looked at me, the first thing they did was remove my tonsil. And they said, we're going to take that out because that doesn't look right. So they removed the tonsil as a day case, and I went home. And after a general anaesthetic, I spent 2 days in bed just to try and get it out, because it was literally, I had the operation in the morning, I was home in the evening. And after a general, I was just feeling rough, felt rough. And so a couple of days later, my wife and I were going through my discharge notes, and that's when I discovered I had cancer. Because in there it said squamous cell carcinoma, which when we looked it up is cancer. So we did what anyone would do in this situation. We phoned up the consultant and said, we've got this. And they said, oh no, don't worry about that, it's for funding. Yeah, that was the face I pulled as well. So I thought, okay, I'm getting nowhere with this on the phone, so I waited. A couple of days later, I went in to see the consultant, and he said, so Mr. Sheard, how are you? I said, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm fed up with being lied to. What do you mean? I said, well, you've told me on my discharge notes here, and I showed him the discharge notes, I have cancer. I phoned up to ask you about that, and you told me I don't have cancer, and that's purely for funding. So you're either lying to me, and I do have cancer, or you're lying to the people that are funding you to get more money. So you've been called out as a liar. Who is it you're lying to? Because your attitude stinks. And he said, I'm very sorry, Mr. Sheard, but you've got cancer.
After 2 weeks of chasing out, you brought that topic out. So
yeah,
then
and that was when the roller coaster started.
Oh, that was stage
4. Stage 4.
So how long? What's the next procedure after that?
Well, the first thing that happened, the Macmillan nurse took me into the room next door and said, you know, you obviously need a bit of time to process this, and I said, no, I don't. I'm fine. You've told me I've got stage 4 cancer. Stage 4 cancer isn't great, and we need to start treatment. She said, well, don't you want to know what your odds of survival are? I said, I'll tell you, my odds of survival are better the sooner we start treatment. So when does treatment start? Well, it's not that easy. I said, well, the longer this conversation goes on, the more my odds are going down. When does treatment start? Well, it really depends. Okay, what treatment am I going to have? Well, we're not sure, but it's probably going to be chemoradiotherapy. Okay, great. What does that mean? Well, it's going to be 6 weeks of radiotherapy and chemotherapy. Okay, great. When does it start? And this woman was looking at me again. She said, well, you need a bit of time to process it. So I stood in front of the wall planner. I went, you've told me I've got 6 weeks. There's 6 weeks on the wall planner. The longer it goes on, am I going to have a crap Christmas, or am I going to have an okay Christmas?
Which one was it?
It was not a great Christmas, but I managed to get things started before and it had finished. But what nobody tells you, it's not just treatment that's bad. You've got all the long-term effects as well. Now, you shouldn't be worried about the long-term effects, because when the options are you live or die, that's where you got to focus. Okay, you've then got what happens afterwards and how you deal with it, but that's what happens afterwards, and that's how you deal with it afterwards. So was Christmas good? No. I mean, for my Christmas dinner, just because I'm belligerent and bloody minded, I had a piece of turkey about that big and some mashed potato, and that was my Christmas dinner. But I was determined I was going to eat my Christmas dinner because everything else I was fed via a feeding tube.
Did you have it at home, or was it at hospital?
No, that was at home.
At home.
That was at home. So I had various operations of lumps and bumps removed, and had my week looked like Monday morning was chemotherapy. Once I'd finished chemo, I'd go across, I'd have radiotherapy. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was all radiotherapy. Friday, I would have a blood test, radiotherapy, come back in on the Monday for it all to start again.
And that was for 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Because what you just said there, it's something that my old man's going to go through soon. Because he's got blood cancer. So, didn't really want to bring this up, but last year, September time, he had wobbly legs and it wasn't right. And then I thought, Dad, just go get a check out. And he said like, oh, he said that here, oh, my liver's not good. Every time I push it, it's like a bit painful and sore. I was like, it shouldn't feel like that, just go get checked. And found out one of the arteries, I can't remember a specific name, he said it doubled the size what a normal human being is. If you put any more pressure, it could potentially pop. So great, okay, well at least we'll find out what's wrong and stuff like that. That's why probably his legs are weak and stuff.
Yep.
So so they went for a heart stress test. And during that heart stress test, I think there's different levels. So he got through the first level, second level, and I think it was the third level. I'm not sure because I wasn't present at the time. I was working. He had a cardiac arrest.
Ouch.
Finding out that 3 of his arteries were blocked. So my concern is like, shouldn't you check if the arteries were good to go before you stress test that? And I was going to like talk about it, and my mum was like, no, don't talk about it, that's fine, leave it as that. I said, look, I don't want to cause a scene, but I left it. But yeah, so he was bedridden and found out also cancer at the same time. And they were really strange though. They were like, oh, you got bone marrow cancer. I'm like, okay. Then after about a couple of weeks later, no, it's blood cancer. I was trying to dig in, it's like which one it is, because it was just like a nurse talking to nurse. I'm like, no, give me a doctor tell me what it is. But because it's a hospital, there's no one actually saying, I'm his doctor, I'm able to diagnose what he has. It was just, I completely get that everyone's busy and it's a bit chaotic where the files are. But to my experience, I was like, oh, it's a bit messy. But he's got his 2 arteries with stems, so just a stem ring.
Yep.
So one of them is still blocked, but that's his heart is 80-90% pretty good. That's normal. And then his hair, instead of being cut, chop, so they put a ring to compress it. And now, just recently, they went to doctor yesterday, I think, to talk about the chemotherapy. So yeah, just one thing after another. But it's a blessing in the sort of fact where he went in and all that happened in the hospital. At least found out, at least the blood cancer, they claim it's a blood cancer, is still early stages. So it's still working around it. But my dad's just been dad. He carries on smoking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting because now he's at the stage where he's getting ready for chemo and stuff like that. So I think literally a couple of weeks ago he did some blood. It's not transfusion. They took out some blood where they put it in the machine to filter it, and then
they take it back, and then they take the next lot out, and
yeah. So sort of like a dose and stuff like that. So, but apparently it's in November time, I think, going to Leicester. But I always try to talk to my dad about it, but he won't let me go with it because he's just too prideful for everything. But yeah,
but he's still dad. He's still head of the family, right?
Yeah.
He needs to be invincible. He needs to be there to support his family. He's head of the family.
Yeah, but
old school way of looking at things.
I'm the next line in charge, so I should let me know a little bit. But so it's interesting. Like, now you give me an insight of how the process is. So have a rough idea what to expect and what can I support him and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for that information. But yeah, back to you. So how did beating cancer change your perspective in life and the relationships and all what really matters in your life at that time?
How has it changed things? I look to achieve more. I look to do more. I think would be the best way. I'm now open to more opportunities, and I think one of the best things was it really changed the way that, do I care what other people think? I don't, by that I don't mean I go out of my way to upset people. Always support, respect other people, but if people look at me and go, they shake, even my wife looks at me sometimes and just shakes her head and, what are you doing now? I don't mind. So 2 years ago I went to Wales, weekend away with a friend in Wales, and we went down the Whitewater Rapids in Wales and did it on rubber rings.
Wow, that must be really fun. Yeah.
Oh, we had such a laugh that weekend. Yeah. We really had a laugh. But it's like, you did what?
Why not? Do it while you still can.
Yeah, I signed up to do one of the white collar boxing matches.
Okay, yeah.
It's too poorly, unfortunately, to fight, but I still signed up, did all the training, got ready to go into the ring, and then the doctor said I couldn't fight. I had a DVT,
right?
So deep vein thrombosis, and because I was on blood thinners, the doctor said can't fight, can't risk the head trauma.
Yeah, that's, when was that?
Oh man, years ago now. What, 2021, 2, something like that.
It's still quite a few years. It's 25 now. So, yeah, it's still quite recent. It's not that long ago.
I've done so much since then. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Adventurous type of man. Right. Okay. So to the up-to-date recent operation now. So you also had not one, but 2 just recent hip replacements. So how did you prepare yourself for that physically, mentally, and what did you recover teaches you resilience?
So the first hip replacement was 2018, and that was just after I'd finished cancer treatment. That was a couple of months after. Because what happened, the day that I was originally due to go and have my hip replacement was the day they diagnosed I had cancer, and they parked, so I had to park the hip replacement and put that off while I went through the cancer treatment. So that was then. That went really well. That went swimmingly. As you said, you've seen me since then doing the goblet squats. Yeah.
In agony.
Yeah. To be fair, it's been a couple of years where I wasn't, so I was able to really focus and home in and get the technique right, build my strength up. So I was doing like 4 sets of 10 with 50 kilos and a goblet squat. So, it was a good number, a good weight.
Yeah.
More recently though, when I tried to do it and keep the strength and the training up, it was too painful. The second hip just needed doing, and it was just degenerating and becoming more painful. So it just didn't happen. So I just tried to find ways to keep the training up, because the stronger you are, the easier the recovery.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah. We both know that the more bigger the muscle, the more circulation it is, the more recovery faster it is, stuff like that. So, yeah, so good. Yeah.
This second one didn't go quite as planned though. So they did the first operation and I woke up in the morning and it just hurt. It really hurt. And the physio said to me, can you bend your leg? Nope. Can you do this? Nope. So she started manipulating, and when I started screaming, she realised something wasn't right. So she called the senior physio, who went, let's have a look. And as he manipulated, something wasn't right. Got it x-rayed and found out at that point it had been dislocated.
That was literally that night or the next day?
The next day. So my operation was like 6 o'clock at night. And by the next day, because I had a spinal injection, the next day I'd should have had enough muscle control in my legs to move the muscle. But that was when I realised it hurt, and hurt so much. I just couldn't do it. So the second day in the evening, they gave me a general, tried to manipulate it back in, realised they couldn't get it back in, so cut me open, got rid of the old cup, put the new cup in, put 2 screws in, put the leg back in, stitched me back up. So recovery for this one's being a little bit longer. So I'm only just coming up to week 4 now. So still walking on crutches at the moment.
So first one was quite straightforward.
Oh, textbook. Yeah. Textbook.
But unfortunately this one is...
This one's taking a little bit longer to recover. Yeah.
How much longer you reckon?
It appears as though they've torn some of my hip flexors either during the dislocation or the manipulation to get it back in. So I've got at least another month before I can get back in the gym and do anything.
So and the reason I'm laughing is most people will be like 3 months or 4 months, then they'll go back in the gym mentally. But you'll go back straight back in.
Yeah.
This is the difference. This is not a normal occurrence for normal people. if it was me, I'll probably give it like at least another 2 months. Like,
no, I don't have to go straight in and do the deadlifts, 150k deadlifts, the 150 back squats or whatever, the goblets. I can go in, I can take it gentle, but I'm setting a precedent for what I want. I'm setting the goals for what I want. I'm setting the behaviour patterns for what I want. The weights, the reps would increase. But what it does mean is when I hit that 3-month mark, when everybody else is thinking about going back, I've already been doing it for 2 months.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, it's a mindset. This is just incredible to hear from you personally. Like I said, even for me, you probably think I'm quite fit, quite mental, strong.
Hell yeah.
Internally, I would think, give it a couple of weeks. Right, okay. So on top of all that, so you run a self-employed cybersecurity business.
Yep.
So you travel a lot. So how do you balance the balance of demanding on lifestyle and health and fitness for you? That's probably before the operation I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So normally, that aside, I work freelance doing cybersecurity, and it really depends what the clients want and where they're located. So around the time that you and I met, I had a contract where I was delivering for a project in Brazil, Argentina and America. My boss was working out of Prague, head office was in Holland, and my technical teams were in Spain and France. So yeah, I was doing a lot of travel to try and pull this all together, but it was work. It wasn't it wasn't the fun side. I mean, yeah, Argentina, I managed to get a weekend out there where I wasn't working, so I did get a chance to spend some time in Buenos Aires. Absolutely loved it, and very privileged to have had that opportunity. But normally what I'll do is I'll try and find a gym in the hotel, or I will if I'm going somewhere, I will get up early and I'll go for a walk. I'll just make the most of it and look at how I can schedule the day. I mean, when I was in Argentina, I knew I was out there for 2 weeks. So I put a couple of bands in my suitcase because you don't need to worry about the weights. It's with the band. And I was down on the beach 6 o'clock one morning, training with my bands, running on the beach, because you then got the resistance of the sea, you got the resistance in the sand, and the resistance of the bands. So yeah, it was still a good workout before the day started. So it's just finding ways to keep consistent, keep training.
Yeah, I remember that time. Darren and Andy always taking me because, like, oh, you're on holiday again.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got back from Argentina. I was home for, I think, 3 days. I then had to go out to Prague. I had a meeting in Prague. I was out there for 3 days. I got home. I then had to go to Holland. It was actually in Schiphol. So I literally got off the plane. It was a 5-minute walk from the exit to my hotel. From my hotel, when I closed my bedroom door, 10 minutes I'm walking into my office. So it wasn't like a holiday, but I had to be out there to go and present the next phase of the project. So key achieved, key blocks, and next steps.
That's a lot of travelling. You must have been tired at the time, weren't you?
It's just part of life's tapestry, right? Yes, it's a lot of travelling, but you sleep on the plane, you sleep where you can.
Right, so after conquering cancer, what inspired you to step into the fitness world?
So when I was going through cancer, for me, it absolutely ruined my body. Absolutely. So I was in a position after treatment where I had a choice. At the start of my day, did I want to go downstairs or did I want to stay upstairs and have a shower? I didn't have the energy to go downstairs or stay upstairs. So I knew I had to do something. I got a bike at home, so just a stationary bike, and I started cycling on that. I remember the first day I was on it, 30 seconds I managed on the bike. That was it. I got off and I was just a sweaty mess, couldn't catch my breath on the floor. And I built it up and I built it up. I think within 2 weeks I was up to about a minute. But a minute on a bike, we're not talking flat out, we're just talking trying to keep going, trying to get movement for a whole minute. I then realised I had to do something. So I joined a gym, not a big box typical gym. It was a very specialised gym where you've always got somebody working with you, somebody training with you. You've always working in a group, always. So the best way to think of it is like a circuit, but very, very inclusive, very focused. And I started doing that and built it up. This was back in end of 2017. No, it wasn't, early 2018. I then had a hip replacement, so I had to take time out from the gym. I went back to the gym because there was no way I was going to give up now because my fitness was really improving. I kept training. And the instructors there actually said to me, look, this is you're a bit of a motivational story here because you aren't giving up. You do keep training, you keep turning up. But people enjoy training with you as well. You're not just someone that switches off in a complete machine. You're actually making this good fun. How would you like to become a trainer? And I just thought, yeah, okay, this is different. So I went away, I studied and became a PT. Developed, got knowledge, started working in that gym as a part-time trainer. And it's just really developed from there.
So yeah, that's a very interesting story how you became towards it. When I first heard of it as well, it's like, wow, that's very inspiring because we trained together quite a few times and we bounce ideas between my style and your style. it's very unique the way you teach people comparison to some of the people that I've known that are PTs, that they're too textbook, but your one's textbook but more in depth, so with a good knowledge of back into it, and you do it well. And I've seen some trainers that they just wing it most of the time, which is quite a shame, where they seem to need to re-evaluate their education.
I'm very, very fortunate that the training school that I went to learn to be a PT, I'm going to plug them anywhere I go, Parallel Coaching, they are superb. Neil and Hayley that run it, they are just amazing.
Yeah.
They'll teach you, and if you're not sure, you're not comfortable, you ask them the question, they'll find another way, and they will keep going until it's right for you, until that bit of knowledge, that nugget lands for you. And they are so engaging and so knowledgeable that even now, like 4 years on, I'll phone one of them up and I'll say, look, I've come across this, or I've heard this, or I'm thinking about this. And they will sit there and they'll bounce ideas with you, and they will help you get a better understanding. Those guys are just amazing.
Wow, good. Yeah.
So that was the educational side. And then at the time, the gym, they wouldn't let you become an instructor until you passed your instructing course to be an examiner. So they actually wanted to see how you were going to be teaching people.
Right.
And they worked with you, and you had to finesse it, you had to find ways to get this information across that's right for the person that you're trying to coach.
Yes.
So you couple, I've got these great PTs that were teaching me how to be an instructor with parallel coaching, these awesome people to give me the technical knowledge, the background, the understanding. I couldn't fail.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I just couldn't fail with that support behind me.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah. With that sort of like standard of allowing you to teach them, like you said, that basic knowledge of understanding the quality is very, very important and represents that brand.
Yeah.
Represent that brand. But like what I just said earlier, people go online and do it for like a month, and then this is a funny one. I bumped into like a colleague. He said, "Oh, I'm a PT as well," and we were working in the office. I'm like, "Oh, okay. So we should train together." I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then I thought, "Okay, let's do leg day," and we went to a squat rack and said, "Oh, let's do some squats." He said, "Like, I never done squats on a squat rack before." I'm like, "Right, so you're PT, so you never done a squat rack demonstration?" No, it wasn't one of those options. We did it on a machine. I was just a bit flabbergasted, where if you're a PT, if someone wants to learn how to do a squat rack, won't you sort of consider learning the basics of it? Which is...
Do you know I was a PT before I ever did a back squat? If somebody had asked me to coach them for a back squat, couldn't do it. I had to learn how to do it after I was a PT. So I would never hold that against someone. For me, it's like, why do you want to learn a back squat? Okay, I want bigger legs. Okay, what is it about bigger legs that you want? What is it you want to achieve? Is it just size? Is it aesthetics?
Yeah.
Is it movement? Is it dynamics? Is it you want to pick things up? Is it you want better movement? So you don't actually want bigger legs, you want better agility. Understand the why. Get to the crux of the why. Because if you did goblet squats properly, you don't need to do a back squat.
Yeah.
Pistol squats, you don't need to do a back squat,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You'll see somebody doing a nice big back squat, but you do a pistol squat, you don't need any weight at all.
Yeah. That is true, because
So work on the why. Why is it somebody wants to achieve something? The exercise comes second.
Yeah, because this is how I do things as well. I mainly focus on bodyweight training these days, so I don't use heavy.
Man, look at you, it's working.
But it's just like at that moment, at that time, the reason I brought that up is just I'm a bit confused because I would have thought a squat on a squat rack is one of the basic necessities, and but obviously not, because obviously now these days you can just use a body weight or just machines, where machines is the safest way of everyone how they do things and stuff like that. So, but yeah, like you just mentioned, is the why, and there's always an alternative to do things, because not everyone have that mobility or strength to do each exercise. So we have to sort of, not say dumb down, to refine that simplicity of doing that exercise.
For me, it's the why. Why? What is it you want to achieve? What's your goal? Which is why when you see me do the goblet squats, right, I'm smashing my legs, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen your legs, yeah.
But the core, the back, the arms, the balance, okay, it's more of a functional movement than just holding the bar across the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you look at this, if I've got a complete beginner, what do? I'm going to get them working on a machine first so they can get used to the movement. Once they get used to the machine, I'm going to probably do a goblet squat with them. Get used to, again, the movement, but it's now free, so they've got to think about how the weight's going to affect them. Then I'll start looking at putting a bar on their back so they can get to the movement. And then depending from there what their goal is, if they want purely size, I'd get them back on the machines so they don't have to worry about the stabilizing muscles.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because
So it's that why. Get the why right, exercise comes second.
I start with the TRX or suspensions.
That's my
favorite.
TRX, yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite one to start off, because even like beginners, any sort of level, understand the movement. That's it. That's the basic foundation.
Yep.
But we can talk about all day about that one. So, do you see the fitness as rebuilding the body or rebuilding life as a whole?
Fitness is life as a whole, and it depends where you are in life, how old you are, what your background, knowledge, experience, expectancy, goals, aspirations are as to what you do. But if you get the body working right, the brain will follow. It's going to, you get the endorphins, you get the rush, you get the feel good, you get the happy hormones going.
Yeah.
I hate running, right? I despise running. But I remember going out for 10, 11 mile runs, getting back and feeling really good with the world.
I started doing cardio for the past month now. It started off with like 2 minutes. And now I'm able to do, like, I can do that 10, 15 minutes, but my brain's always telling me, it's like, oh, you don't know enough. I was like, oh no, I can do more. It's just that internal demon always fighting to it. Right.
But for me, these days, resistance cardio is king.
Oh.
Resistance cardio, kettlebells, absolutely love a kettlebell.
Oh, yeah, kettlebell. It's a brutal exercise. Yeah, brutal. Right. Okay. How do your struggles shape the way you now coach others, especially people who feel broken and or hopeless?
How does it help? It's got to start with mindset, okay? And this is where I think I go back to corporate life, and I don't know if you've ever heard this before. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're probably right. There's no way I can lift that bar. You're probably right. I think I can lift that bar. You're probably right.
Yeah.
It starts with a mindset.
Yeah.
And you have to find what's going to give somebody that spark.
Yeah, that's completely right. Because if you've got individuals like, yeah, I'm not going to lift that one, and they have that mood into it, there's no way. Even though, like, you know they're strong enough to do it, they already doubt themselves. So there's no point doing it. So just trying to find something else to sort of like motivate them that you can actually do it. I think that's how I come across.
When I teach a class, I really find it interesting, especially if I've got some of the older people in there, and they come up to me and say, "I'm really sorry, I can't do that. I've had a hip replacement." I'll be like, "Yes, so have I. Come on."
I can't do that. Thankfully, I don't have that issue yet, but yeah, so at least you can say like, look, you're not as broken as you think you are.
You're not as broken. Yeah, I've had somebody say, I've had cancer, skin cancer, and I had to get it removed. It's like, okay.
So have I.
You've had a bit of skin removed, you know. Why is that stopping you from moving the bar? Why is that stopping you from doing another burpee?
I've got one hip, not one, but two.
It's like, well, I don't know whether I can still do it with two hips. I'll find out in a month, right?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. You have to let me know when you come in. But yeah, that's...
I'm going to go, and it's going to be slow. It's going to be very, very slow to start with, because I've got to build it up. I've got to make sure I don't damage anything, but I'll be there.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, we should have Fridays, because I don't work on Fridays now, so we can have Fridays, have session together, make that as a routine.
I've already I don't know if you saw it as you came out here, I've got the kettlebells and the dumbbells inside. I'm starting on Monday for me at home. It's going to be light, it's going to be gentle, and I'm just going to, even if I just pick one up and I put it down again, it starts Monday.
On that topic, because you've been down that road before, you're just fighting another like battle that you've been there before, in sort of sense.
Yeah,
because it's not your first battle. It sounds like there's multiple battles that you had similar.
I think the most bizarre one, when I tore the cartilage on my knee. This is going back a few years. It was a judo competition. So what happened, this guy beat me, and you probably realise I don't do losing very well. I mean, he beat me fair and square. He was a better man on the day. You know, there is nothing, I can't take anything away from that guy, but I don't like losing. Roll on a couple of months, and I made sure, I spoke to the ref and the judges. I said, look, I want to fight that guy because he beat me last time. And I'm not a small chap, but he's probably 25 to 50% bigger than me, right? He was a unit. And I thought, I can't let him win. Can't let him win. So the second fight, right, and we've gone up, we've bowed, we've shaken hands, yeah, it's a judo competition. I mean, this guy was so big, yeah. He's picked me up to throw me. He's thrown me so hard, I've gone into the spectators, okay. It was a unit. Now the adrenaline's going. I'm now annoyed, okay? So I've got up. I've gone back in. He's thrown me down again. There's just no way I'm going to let him win, right? Because he beat me last time. I'm now right. We're doing this. So I am giving it everything I've got, and he's giving it. There's no way he's going to let me win. So he's giving it everything he's got, and it, you know. We were told afterwards, best fight of the day, because we were both giving it flat out. We finished, we shook hands. I mean, nothing away from that guy. Great fighter, nice guy as well. We shook hands, and as I've knelt down to bow, it was at that point I tore the cartilage on my knee. Just
to find out that moment, because you've got so much adrenaline.
Yeah. It was only, it was like, oh. And when I say there was no hard feeling, he actually helped pick me up and took me off to the sick bay.
Oh, wow,
okay, so,
yeah.
You know, what goes in the ring stays in the ring, right?
Yeah, what sportsmanship that is, yeah.
So, did that anyway, they put the knee back together, and they actually, what they did is they had to do the cartilage, and rather than cutting it out, they actually stretched it and stapled it back together.
Wait, did you say staple?
Stapled, yeah. Where it all torn and wasn't great. So, but because it's now shorter, because they've cut it off, they had to file the bone back so they could pull the cartilage together. Once they got the cartilage together, they stapled it together, so it then work. Roll on a good number of, I think it was about a year and a half later, I'm back and I'm fighting again, and I was doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I just been selected to represent England. Yeah, it was literally, thanks for coming, guys. You can go now. Right, you guys over here kneel down. So as I knelt down, it tore again the second time.
No.
That's just part of life's rich tapestry, right?
The heartbreak on that. Oh, I won't be able to take it. But anyway, that's. Yeah.
Okay, got it sorted. I went back to jiu-jitsu for a while, but it was just so weak I couldn't do that anymore.
Oh, you torn it twice. So the first time was quite bad, but I'm pretty sure the second time just like. Ugh.
Well, they just took it out. So they just tied it up, took out the cartilage.
Well, wow. Okay. So, right, highs and lows now. What's been the darkest moment in your life, and how did you climb out of it?
Oh, I think there have been 3 really dark moments in my life. 3.
Pick the one.
No. 3.
Okay, do they connect?
When I found out my mum died, my dad dying, and the other one, when I was going through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, I got an infection. You can see it's discoloured here. So what happened, I actually got radiation burn on the outside of the neck. So I was in and out of hospital trying to get that treated. And it was also on the inside of the neck as well. And for whatever reason, it became infected. So I've now got this burn, radiation burn on the inside and outside, and both were infected. And because everything was being fed via a feeding tube. As you know, chemotherapy makes you sick. So I'm not eating anything, and all I'm bringing up is stomach acid. So I've got an infected radiation burn on the inside of my neck, and I'm throwing up stomach acid over it. I'm going through chemoradiotherapy, so I haven't actually got the energy to keep walking between bed and the bathroom. So I just curled up on the bathroom floor and wanted to die.
How long was that?
That went on for probably 2 days. Again, my wife, she picked me up, she cleaned me off, she helped me get me back to bed. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that reminds me, same, I also said earlier, when I had COVID, just laying there, could not move, could not do anything, couldn't go to the toilet, couldn't eat, couldn't taste, couldn't smell, just laid there. Dark, just, yeah, I remember just laying there, and even if I go like this, it was effort. And I felt like, like you shuffle when you sleep, just to get comfortable. I was that weak. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna enjoy the stiff neck that I've got.
Yeah.
It's just that bad. And my partner was like, she was looking after him. She would come up and say, "You okay?" I was like, "I'm sorry, but can you just like push my neck like this?" And I was like, yeah, many things going in my head that time. But hey, I was glad that I was getting better. I was able to get up slowly, and yeah. And then straight after that, a week later, I was like, "No, I'm going to gym." Straight away.
You see, it's not me. Okay, you were there. You got up. You did it.
Yeah. So no, that was a very dark moment for me. But yeah, I can understand where you come from that one, where you just, yeah, without support, mate. That don't know where I'll be then.
Yeah.
So, well, on the flip side, what's been the most fulfilling, top of the world moment for you?
I think I've got two.
Okay.
The first has got to be when I held my son for the first time.
Yes.
And yeah, got a photo upstairs of him just looking at me. I know he couldn't see me, but hey, he was looking at me.
Yeah, I remember that moment. I remember when he was born. She was laying there, popped out, face front, looking at me. I was like, just hi.
Yeah, you hold him. It's like, oh my. Now what do I do?
You know what? Funny enough for me, I thought of Lion King. I was so tempted to go like that. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's, yeah. So what's the other one?
The other one. Now, I used to be a scout leader.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And one of the things I did as a scout leader, I organised two of the round the world yacht races. Two of the boats that they use for around the world. And I put 2 leaders and 10 explorers. So this is the 14 to 18 year olds on each of the boats. So we've got 2 boats, 20 young people. And the idea was, originally we were supposed to be sailing to Guernsey, overnight in Guernsey, sail back, but the weather was against us and we had no wind.
Oh.
So we got a choice: do we go all that way under motor? You know, there's no fun doing that, or do we mess around in the Solent, which is where we were, and see what we could do? So we spent a weekend, and the wind got up, and we had a lot of fun. There was night sailing and day sailing. They had to work together in teams, diving off the edge of the boat, swimming to shore for a barbecue, swimming back out to the boat. You know, a lot of fun for the young people. 2 of them went on to thank me. One of them, that was on one of the boats, became the youngest ever female to do round the world yacht race.
Wow.
And one of the guys missed it by being the youngest by, I think it was 3 months. He was 3 months older than the youngest male to ever do it. But the pair of them, because of how much they enjoyed that weekend, it was more than the weekend, but how much they enjoyed that time and what they got from it, that's what they went on to do. And I was just like, yeah, I've helped give those guys direction. It's not down to me. I've opened up an opportunity and experience for them that's meant they can go on and forge their own way.
I think that's probably why we like doing PT, because the feeling you get for the appreciation or the results they want to achieve is, you can't explain it in words. Well, I can't anyway, because they will come up to me, or people ask me for tips here and there, and then the results they get out of it, it's just like, you think, I did that with my advice.
You feel proud, don't you?
Yeah, you feel like, yeah, proud. I think that's probably the nice word to say it. Yeah. But
you feel proud you've helped somebody achieve their goals.
Yeah. And it's
and
nice.
It's down to you.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. And I tend to try to seek it all the time now. So that's what I'm doing now. Go to the gym and just like see people doing something wrong. I'm like, you did something wrong. But yeah, I'll try to avoid my hand doing that as well. Right. So next one would be, do you think the lows made the highs more meaningful?
Definitely. It's like a pendulum on a clock. It's only going to go as far that way as it does that way. If it doesn't move, you're not going to experience the highs.
Yeah. If you can go back and give your younger self one message during your hardest struggles, what would that be?
There'd be two actually. I think the first is don't give up, keep going, and the second would be, but who really cares? Don't be embarrassed. Do it anyway. What's the worst that's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? Enjoy it. You know, it's okay. It may not be the outcome you want. Maybe it goes horribly wrong and it gives everyone a good laugh. So what? Fail. First attempt in learning, right? That's what it stands for.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the hardest bit, or most people trying to
Worried
through,
what other
isn't it?
people think. And it takes you to a certain point in life where you realise that everyone's worried what everyone else is thinking, so they're not really paying you any attention.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think most, probably 80% of my life actually, because as a Chinese, British born Chinese, with Chinese traditional parents, we have that expectation factor, and we have a tendency for legacy, and we have to wear that Lee family sort of name, surname's Lee, just to let you know, as a pride, as you're representing the Lee family, the legacy. So whatever you do, you're representing the family. So from a young age, I think I've been pressured, whatever I do, I have to do the best I can, best I can. I can't embarrass myself because of the family and stuff like that. I think most Chinese people can relate to what I'm talking about. But now I've been literally 70% of my life in England. It's not relevant legacy. It's more about your individual. Now it's just express yourself. Not saying don't respect the legacy, but people worry too much what other people's values, opinions, instead of their own opinion.
Let's come back to your point you just raised about legacy. Which is right, which is wrong?
Now I see legacy, there's no right or wrong. It's a decision of how you want to lay it out. Because there's no right and wrong in life, end of the day. It's your path, you pave it out. I thought my parents' legacy, I got to carry on that light, that golden torch. But all they want to do is pave a safe path for me and then go do your own thing. But with expectations of us to have a high qualification, high whatever career path they would like to me, in a safe job. But that kind of lost me into, I'm doing it for them instead of what do I want. So now, like, I'm a little bit older and mature with family now. Look back, as a parent, I understand where they're coming from. So my choices, how I'm going to bring my child up, is refine how I've been brought up. My parents is guiding him what he enjoys. That's the legacy I'm going to give it to him. So that's my legacy.
So in summary, the legacy is giving your son the confidence to do what he wants.
Yeah, build him up, not build what I expect him to be. I think that's the most important thing people see, because I think everyone has that insecurity of, I see it in my friends, some other people, where they wish they could have done that, so they take their kids to football and push football onto them.
Living vicariously.
I wish I did that. It's like my partners in the past, it's like, I'm going to take our son Ren to ballet dancing. I said, why take him ballet dancing? He's only 3. I was like, yeah, but I'd like to see him do ballet. It's like, you like to see it, or he likes to do it? I said, I don't mind taking him to do it If he likes it, do it. It's fine. It's an experience. But if he doesn't want to do it, then don't force him to do it. I would not like to force anything to Ren or my future other kids, because everyone's got their own choice.
I agree with that 99%. The 1% I disagree, and I said my son will always do some form of self-defense. Judo, taekwondo, boxing, whichever one he enjoys, but he's doing one.
That one, yeah. And that one I'll cover by me as a father. I'm setting as a role model. Me being fit, how I treat people, how I do things. He will learn by seeing that. You don't need to talk about that. That's how I learn my stuff, because I visually see it from dad. Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. That's how I see it as. Right. So, how has your definition of success changed over time, and what does success means to you?
Oh, now this is a really good one. I rewatched your podcast this morning with Andy, and I think Andy summed it up really nicely when at a certain point in my life it was having that career, it was having the status symbols that came with that level of career, and all those trappings. Now success is being happy and comfortable to be who I am. That is success. Now, whether that's me or whether that's anyone, if somebody is happy with what they are doing and they are comfortable with themselves, they are happy in life.
You just copied it from him, didn't you? No, but I think that's relatable to any sort of aspect.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like, emotional tear coming out.
No, it was just, it is so true, and it's what I work towards now. I work freelance within cybersecurity. If I'd stayed in an organisation, yes, I would have been, quite senior, probably possibly even director level. But do I want that level of stress? I go in now, I help an organisation, I tell them what they need to do, I show them how they need to do it. If they don't want to do it, that's absolutely fine. That's on them. It's not on me.
Yeah.
I then have the option. You don't want to do it, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you get hacked, that's fine. This is your decision to do this. My name isn't above the door. My name's not on the paperwork. I'm not the one that's going to prison if you get hacked.
Yeah. You just came to do your job and did your role, and people take it and leave it, and that's it. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look.
It means I get to stay away from a lot of the office politics, and I get to go in and make a difference for those that want change. For people that don't want change, you help, you find ways of doing it, but people don't like change generally.
No. People like to stick with what they're good at and stay with it for a long period of time.
What you just said, people like to stick with what they're good at. It comes back to what I was saying earlier. I'll do something, I'll understand it, I'll get qualified in it, right? Doesn't mean I'm good at it. It means I have a foundational understanding and I've got proof that I've got a foundational. I'm speaking from a position of knowledge. Whether we're talking cybersecurity, where my knowledge is pretty reasonable, or we're talking wine, where my knowledge is intermediate. But I'm still talking from a position of knowledge. If it's something new, hell, I'm here to learn.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. I'll go back to what you just picked up, is people stay in version 1, but there's always version 2, version 3. There's always an update to whatever subject it is.
Yep.
And not saying version 1 is bad, but there's always a better version, and you need to upgrade yourself to keep up. But if you're complaining that these updates is not working with what you do, and you're not going to change yourself, to upgrade yourself. You're just going to stay stuck where you are, being what we call stubborn, really. And unfortunately, I'm working in an area with quite a lot of stubborn people right now, so not to boast around talking about bad people, but yeah, but that's just life in general, because a lot of people, I understand, because people...
Have you got somebody with 10 years experience, or have you got somebody with 1 year's experience and 10 years repeating it? Sorry, 9 years repeating it.
Yeah, I'll get bored of it. It's like us doing fitness. There's always a new way of doing it, but the foundation's there.
That's why I like training with you, because I learn something new. I can see a different way of doing it. It challenges my perspective of an energy system, a muscle group, an exercise.
Yeah, so no, that's why we connect so well. It's different perspective for doing it. Right, okay. So for those listeners who feels life keeps knocking them down, what's the blueprint in standing back up and overcoming struggle? And finally, if all your titles were stripped away, business owner, coach, survivor, who is Ben at the core?
Right. What's the blueprint for overcoming? First of all, you need a desire. If you don't have a desire, why do you want to overcome it? Are you happy? If you're not happy, why aren't you happy? What would make you happy? How do you work towards it from where you are now? If £1 million is going to make you happy and you get £1 in the bank, having £5 in the bank is going to get you closer to your goal. So how do you get to the £5 in your bank? Where do you want to be? Set direction, set intent. Doesn't mean you're going to hit it, but you're on the direction to something that you're going to go towards. Strip everything away. Who am I? You can't strip everything away. I am the sum of those things. I am the cybersecurity guy. I am the PT. I am the massage therapist. I am the guy that used to be a DJ at like 15 years old. I am the guy that got to Crufts doing dog agility. I am the guy that's got, like, out of the 6 dogs I've had, 5 have been rescues. You don't strip those things away. That is me. That's who I am. I am a sum of those parts. And that's true not just of me, that's true of everyone, right? It's like me saying to you, okay, you take away your Chinese heritage. Who are you? You can't.
Yeah.
You are the sum of your Chinese heritage, but you're also the sum of your time that you spent in Northampton. You are the sum of your time that you spend in the gym, right? You're the sum of the time that you spent working in your dad's business. You don't strip those things away. They have made you who you are.
Beautiful, beautiful. Right, that's it for all the questions. But I have a question. No, not a question. Let me rephrase that. I have a message for you that you don't know about. I've written this myself the night before they did this.
Okay.
So, right, let me get my reading glasses. You might be almost done. Yeah. Huh? You want wee?
Hey, Ren, if you can wait 2 minutes, I'll show you where it is, sir.
Right. Okay. Let me read it. It's quite right, Ben. I just want to take a moment and thank you for being here on the podcast and for opening up the way you have, sharing your struggles, your determination. The truth isn't easy. And too often people overlook just how much strength it takes. On the outside, you may look fine, but I know that mentally and physically you face barriers most people will never understand. And yet you carried yourself with resilience, humility, and quiet strength. As a fellow fitness guy, as a part of the same circle, and as a man, I have nothing but respect for the way you fought yourself for every single challenge you've been through, not showing a sign of weakness, and instead of showing others how to stand tall. You've been an inspiration to me personally, even with everything you've been through, the cancer, the operation, the hip replacements, the battles you've been through for your health. You've shown life isn't about surrendering or blaming circumstances, and it's about raising, overcoming the odds, making use of every moment you have been given. You're living proof of what it means to be turning pain into purpose. And I'm truly honored to have shared this conversation with you. Thank you so much, Ben.
Jenkin, it's an absolute pleasure. Do not stop being you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.